I'm down here. Hi. In the corner. So anyhow, basically last time we played 2-2. Two defense. Like this we played. Two defense, two midfield. Futsal. So tomorrow we're going to try something a little bit different, which is 1-1-2. And I put, instead of just regular picture here, we're going to start out like this. It doesn't mean you're going to play that the whole game. So we have less talking to do when we get there. But Riley and Braden here at defense, Jake, Derek at midfield, Joe Ange left mid, Jason Colton right mid. So the idea here is if we could keep the center defender and the center mid in the middle. Picture the field like this. And these two players want to stay in the middle of the field. So if the ball comes back down the wings here, let's say we go to attack, these guys stay in the middle. If we lose the ball and they come forward, instead of our defender coming out or our center mid chasing it, the first option, the best option, is to have the left mid, left wing come back, pressure the ball. And this way, the defender and the center mid could stay in the middle, right? So if this guy comes here, right, he marks him. Now if he breaks into the middle, like this, or he makes the pass, right, and he has to slide out, and the center mid wants to drop here. Because remember, we only have one defender. But I'm not saying you have to stay here the whole game and not move, but generally we want this mid or wing to pressure the ball, and the same out here. Now, when we get the ball, let's say they have a shot, all right, pass here. This is, explain this. So when the center mid has the ball, what we want is both of these, we want both of the wings, left wing or left mid, right wing, right mid. If the center mid has the ball right here, instead of these two guys causing a traffic jam, we want them to slide outward like that. Now, what that's going to do is their defenders are going to do one of two things. One, they're going to step to the ball. If that happens, it's going to leave one of them open. We make the pass here. Okay? Let's say both of them mark when we step out like this. Then the center mid's going to come right down and have a shot. Okay? Chances are one defender is going to step up to the ball. Right? This guy might be tracking back to mark him. But this center mid right here wants to make a decision. Okay? As if he has space. Now, if this guy doesn't have space, then don't run off. Right? You want to keep that triangle we went over in practice. Here's the triangle right here. 1, 2, 3. Now, if these guys are marked, all he has to do is turn around and make a back pass to the defender. Right? But the idea is, by our mids widening out like this, right, that might create a gap down the middle that we can look to take space and have a shot. If that doesn't happen, right, and he has pressure, then he wants to turn around and make a back pass. Or, if one of these guys is marked, he passes to the open guy, okay? And then when he comes here, he runs to the middle. So this is how our attack should look. Left mid, center mid, right mid. Okay? Now, we got to be smart. If the goalie, I don't have a goalie, let's just use him for now. If the goalie's on this side and the defender's here, right, is he the best guy to shoot it? No, he wants to slide it to the back post and have a shot. And the same thing goes over here. Okay, this guy's going to step up. Now, let's say we lose the ball. Right away, the one defender, because it's 1, 1, 2. Remember. Oh, that's ugly. 1, 1, 2. So if we lose the ball, the guy closest is going to pressure the ball. Okay? Now, if this guy comes here, then yes, the center mid wants to leave the middle to mark him. Okay? So 1, 1, 2. Just remember, if you're the defender or the center mid, you really, really want to stay in this middle of the field. Okay? And then let the left mid wing also track back and pressure like this. Okay? Up and down. Same here, up and down, pressure. Okay? Now, we win the ball here. Remember, when we come out here to clear or send the ball forward, we were talking about this in practice, you don't want to come out wide like this to clear the ball up the sideline and then last second cut it back this way. Because if he blocks it, then it's a quick counterattack. And we could give up an easy goal that we don't want to. So if we're getting the ball out wide over here, okay, don't worry if the guy has it blocked. If you go to clear it or send it, okay, this guy should be here. He would come here. He would come here. Worst case is if he blocks it, it goes out of bounds. And then we get a kick instead of a throw and a kick in, right? But we just don't want to cut the ball back toward the middle as if we're going to clear it here and then we cut it in because then they can block it. Send the ball up. Worst case is they block it out and now we get a kick. And like we did in practice, what we want to do with the kick, our defender here, right? Center mid in this case will come take it. If this guy, okay, remember, be in front of your guy. Now, let's just say this guy's unmarked, then it's a no-brainer. We go back pass, okay? And then we go right back to the guy that kicked it in. So it's a touch and a touch back, okay? Like that. Now, if he touches here and no one's on him, then he doesn't have to go back to him. He can come up field, right, and look to send it into space to run onto it like that. Hopefully this is helpful and not confusing it more the way I have it set up. So, like we did in practice, we always want to have a triangle, okay? So if this is the kick in, because it's out of bounds, right? We got to have a triangle here. So if he passes in and he comes, right? Keep the triangle. If we get two guys inside the triangle, then we want to break the triangle because we have a 2v2. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. Just keep it simple right now. So, one other thing on goal kicks. Okay, last time Jake was taking the goal kicks or whoever, and what we were doing is we were kicking. Now, just kicking it, right from the goal kick. If this guy gets a piece of the ball, he can counterattack. So we really don't want to just kick it like a regular goal kick. What we're going to do tomorrow, at least in the first game, is whoever's taking the kick, let's say it's Jake, instead of kicking it, he's going to touch it to Robert, and Robert's going to touch back, see? And now we can dribble, right? And what that does is, what that does is it draws this midfielder in to the ball, okay? If it was just a kick, they could intercept it and counterattack. And we're in a tough spot, especially with just one defender, right? One center mid and two midfield or two wingers. Wingers, right? Center mid, defenders. 1, 1, 2. So the point is with the goal kick, right? He comes here, he comes here, right? See how we just spread them out like that? Chances are they're not going to come up and mark the ball on those. So we go to take the goal kick. Instead of kicking it away, Jake's going to just turn around, play to Robert. Robert back to Jake. Jake takes space. See if we can draw one of these guys in, right? If we do, we could send the ball into space, right? If he has the best shot, he takes it. If he doesn't, because the keeper is over here, he crosses it. We lose the ball. The wingers or midfielders want to track back. Okay? These two guys want to stay middle. All right? Now, here's another thing. We really want, when they're coming, like let's say we're containing them and we're jockeying, we don't want them in the middle of our field. We want to isolate this guy. Yeah.
I ran through hula hoops to get this food.
All right, just leave it there, hon.
I'm late for my...
So if we could keep this guy on the outside to the sideline, right? If it comes forward a little, it's okay. Don't let him turn and cut into the middle. See, that creates problems. Because then, well, we're taking the ball here, right? He can send the ball into the corner. We don't want them to be able to go in and out with the ball. So, obviously, they will be able to do that. We want to limit it. So when this guy's coming, right, you want to turn your back to the middle of the field, face him, and try to keep him off to the sideline like this. Okay, same thing if the ball's over here. He has the ball, okay, try to isolate him towards this sideline, right? Now, if we do that, that means we could shift and play half the field. The defender has to watch this backside, right? That's where they scored our goal. No one's fault. It's just that's how it happened. We played great. If we can isolate him here, they have to really play smart tactically. He has to support the ball, right? And then this guy, if we're isolating him, he can't be over here. We just squish them to half the field, right? So he's going to mark him here. Now, if he runs into the corner, he leaves him. The defender leaves him. We've got to keep our defender somewhere in here and our center mid somewhere in here unless he presses forward. When he presses forward, our defender comes here. But when we lose it, we don't want the defender taking risks because then we give up a fast break or counterattack, breakaway. We want him to drop. Same with him. We want him to drop. We want him to pressure out here. Him to pressure. Okay? Now, we win it. Right? If these guys are like here, 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 all the defense has to do is just cover the middle. That's easy, right? So what we want to do is now let's say he has the ball, doesn't matter. Same thing. Okay? Now if he's has space and he's coming, then the center mid knows to cover. Now when it gets to here, he wants to get wide like this. Now if those guys don't leave to mark you, then you can start inching back in. And we could just play a quick little boom. Let him step. He wants to get in front. Play it low. Right? Maybe he runs the backside. The defender comes here and he crosses. Okay? So when they have the ball, we want to keep them out here. When they have it. Because if we can push the ball out here, then that means chances are they're going to have a hard time. Oh, look, we lost one of the guys. Where did he go? Got lost. All right. Point is, this guy's not going to be very useful if we're isolating them here, right? This coach is going to tell him to slide to the middle. Because look what happens if this guy tries to switch fields here, right? We're keeping our center mid and our center defense in the middle. We're creating a wall. Okay, so if they try to do any switches, we're going to intercept it, right? And feed into space. Guy doesn't have to be there to pass to him. If he's here and he's marked, right, and you see he's paying, he sees the play, just feed it into space. Same thing here. This guy's coming. Even if he's not there, just cross it into the box. Let them run onto it. Okay? Very important. We don't want to dribble through shins. Okay? So Unless you're here and it's a fast break, 2 versus 1, don't challenge guys. All right, make the back pass. We actually want to control the ball in our own half because what that does, when we control it, oh, he's got to get in the triangle, right? Always need 2 options. He can come here or he can come here, so it's a triangle, right? If he comes here, then he knows he's got to come here. Triangle. Same thing over here, same thing. Anyway, the point I was making is, oh, I lost my thought. So, indirect kicks, right? Here's the other thing I wanted to mention. Kick-ins, not indirect kicks. So let's say we have a kick-in right here, right? And we come here. So we don't want to go here because that's going to tempt the guy to make this pass, and then he's going to intercept it. So when we have the ball on our sideline, we always shift middle. It doesn't mean we can't play the ball out there into space, but if it's a kick in here, by shifting middle, A, we don't tempt our player to make a pass that could get intercepted. B, what happens is they move in, right? They move in to mark us. Now, he comes here, he plays it, he comes back, right? By him pinching in, it just created an open space for him to make the pass into. See? Because let's say this midfielder is going to be looking at this player, right? So he's going to come mark him. So you don't want to let him know what you're thinking. But this player should see here. And now you just turn and you go onto it. And when he comes running to stop you, instead of shooting right into his shins, right? If this guy has a good run and he has him beat, as you draw him out and you draw this goalie out, very simple, you just tap it across. All right, and again, if this guy now is blocked, he runs, give him go, boom. Let's see, I think that's about it. Oh yeah. Oh, one last thing I wanted to say. I think I already started to say it and then I forgot. As we were talking about in practice, sometimes this is only for futsal, and then if you're playing defense here, you'll play offense in the night game. If you're playing offense here, you'll play defense in the night game. We'll rotate so not everyone just plays the one spot. Point is, what happened to us Sunday night was we dominated that team. And what happened was they had all their players stacked up near their goal. So no matter how hard we tried to go in here like this, right? Even if he marks, these guys are all still piled up. So we could cross into the box all day. Come here, cross into the box. They're all stacked, right? If you remember, we played that Sousa team and we played defense the whole game and it was 0-0, and then we went to penalty kicks. We almost won that tournament. We called it the shell defense, which was our team kind of sat on defense, right? When you play very advanced teams attacking, obviously that's 7 versus 7. But just to keep it simple, we sat on defense, all right? Bend, don't break. They kept pressing in to score, right? We only pressed one guy up. Everyone else sat back. That's what that team did because we overpowered them. So, my point is, possessing in our own half is not like, oh, coach is holding us back, this is boring, or we just want to score goals. I want to score goals too, but we can't just keep coming forward and hammering and blocking. So what we want to do is that tiki-taka, the Barcelona way. We only went over it once yesterday. But you form a triangle, right? Let's take this for example. You form a triangle, keep passing until they all start to suck up, right? See how they leave their goal? And now we created space to send the ball forward. So I don't think we're going to have that problem with futsal because they're not going to all stack up near their goal. I doubt it. But the point is, it's okay to possess the ball. Don't take risks where we lose it and they score. But we don't need to race forward every time, be in a rush and take a bad shot. Remember, the other thing we went over in practice is if you're coming down for a corner, right, and you don't have the corner, some of them are going to go out of bounds. No big deal. You don't have to cross. if the guy has you marked and you can't get the cross in, just crife it to your other foot. If you can't send it with your opposite foot, just protect the ball, and we got a support pass here. Maybe this guy follows him and we can just do a give and go, right? And then this guy steps and then we cross here. So I think that's all pretty straightforward. We'll go over it before the game tomorrow also. But I figured maybe this would be good to see because I know when we get there, it's a lot of things going on. And all right, so that's it. Thanks, guys.